What's up guys, Infinity Gaming back with another Clash Royale video, and today we're going to be doing this Three Musketeer deck. And this deck was used about, I'd say, a month ago, and I picked it up off YouTube, and I decided to use it because nobody really plays Three Musketeers, and it's a really expensive card. It's basically like P.E.K.K.A. Double Prince, high risk, high reward card. It's probably one of the most high risk, high reward cards in the game besides Sparky, and I just wanted to use it. I got Three Musketeers, the Knight, the Elixir Collector, the Zap Spell, Cannon, Mini P.E.K.K.A., Ice Spirit, and the Fire Spirits. And let's just go ahead and jump into a couple of replays with this deck. So this first battle was against a giant wizard deck, and strategy is because nobody really uses Three Musketeers right, so it really catches them off guard, because nobody really expects Three Musketeers. They usually expect like Hog Rider, Trifecta, or Giant Poison, but that's actually pretty good, and so nobody will expect your Three Musketeers, because my Three Musketeers are only level 6, so they would die to a level 7 Fireball, which I see a lot, but nobody is really using Fireball. They're using Poison with their Giant Poison decks. So I was like, okay, this might be a good time to use Three Musketeers, because it might get wrecked by Bowler, but other than that, it's a pretty good card right now. So make sure you play your pumps. I did get a draw on one of my battles with this deck. I did 3, and I only won 2 and drawed on 1. And the reason why I drawed is because the opponent kept rocketing my pumps, so I couldn't get the elixir to push, but it was a draw. Almost won though, because his tower's at like 375, because I did like a last night musketeer push. And speaking of the knight, instead of using the giant, the knight is pretty versatile because he's only 3 elixir and he's really good on defense. He can crush a wizard. He can even crush a Valkyrie, because people were saying that he was like the only counter to Valkyrie. I remember watching one of the YouTube videos saying that the knight is probably the only ground counter that can counter Valkyrie without like range, because I mean his hit speed's pretty decent and his damage. So if he gets to a tower, he does a pretty good decent amount. But as you guys can see, I have 2 pumps out, which is going to help out in the long run with the Three Musketeers. And when it gets to overtime, this deck really shines. And it's basically like a Three Musketeers split deck, if you guys see those often. Now watch this like whole push he has here. He has the Valkyrie, the Giant, and the Wizard. Like I said, with that Knight, the Knight is chopping that Wizard down. There's a Sparky, but my Three Musketeers can take it out pretty easily. And then he puts his barbs out. He should have waited until my Musketeers came on the other side of the bridge, so the barbs could, surround the Musketeers. Now I have 5 Musketeers in the field and an Ice Spirit, and he is getting wrecked. Look at this Giant. And here the Knight is behind, but you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, how did you get that many Musketeers out? It's because of my pumps, and in double elixir time, it really helped out. And at the end, I get another 3 Musketeers down, and that is 5 Musketeers in one battle. So I don't really prefer Giant and 3 Musketeers deck, because he's just really expensive, but he does a lot of damage if he gets to a tower. But the Knight is just really good overall, and he's medium speed, and he can defend himself. And like a Hog Rider's coming, you can just put your 3 elixir Knight down. But if you had a Giant, the only defense he would have against like a let's see, a Hog Rider, you'd have to use your Mini P.E.K.K.A. or a Cannon. But let's say your opponent had like a giant push coming at you with Poison, Bowler, this wouldn't be enough. So the Knight is going to help out a lot in this deck. So let's just go ahead and jump into the last replay, guys, of today. I don't really want to do any live battles just yet, because I'm waiting to get my 3 Musketeers upgraded to level 7 because, like I said, they're pretty vulnerable to a level 7 fireball. But once I get them to tournament cap, I'll be good. So as you guys can see, I'm starting with my pump, and this is against the Royal Giant deck with a miner. And the Royal Giant is level 10, so I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose this battle big time. And right now, I just defended the Royal Giant with a cannon. And look at the Knight. The Royal Giant is getting hits on the tower, but he did take out that Royal Giant pretty much by himself because the tower was aiming at the miner. And that miner is level 2, so it is doing a pretty big amount of damage. Mini P.E.K.K.A gets one swing off, and even if it's only one swing, the Mini P.E.K.K.A does a lot of damage. And this was a pretty jacked up cannon placement by me right here. But it was the only thing I had to defend this musketeer and bomber, because if it wasn't for that, he would have taken my tower, and then he would just play defense the whole time. So Mini P.E.K.K.A to counter the miner. I think the miner is a pretty overpowered card, even after it's nerfed though, because there's not really that many counters to him besides after he gets to your his destination. But other than that, he's easily counterable, but he's OP in like tournaments and stuff because he's so fast and people can trick him, like people can trip you up like a goblin bro or something. But if you guys didn't see that Knight Mini P.E.K.K.A miner push, even if my opponent fireballs my 3 musketeers, I still have my Knight, my Mini P.E.K.K.A, and my spirits, and I have the elixir pump, so I could just spam those troops at him after he fireballs. But I thought I was gonna lose against this Royal Giant player, but I just let him take that tower because I know he was gonna take it anyway. Because the Royal Giant, I only had the cannon, he would have gotten a few hits in over time. So on the other side, I have 3 musketeers, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Ice Spirit, and Fire Spirits, and then that he counters with the Valkyrie, and the Valkyrie is done, but his Fire Spirits pretty much took them out. Here comes a Wizard, then he plays his Hog Rider, and just use a cannon to defend. Here comes a miner, and the Knight is gonna take that Wizard out, I think. No, I gotta use my Mini P.E.K.K.A, and Musketeer right there, and another bomber. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ignore that. And since my left tower was taken down, I put my 3 musketeers right there because he could have played Royal Giant right there, but then he decides to play his Valkyrie because he saw my 3 musketeers. Then he plays a Valk, but they're pretty much done, and there's already a musketeer on the tower right now, and then it's gonna whittle it down to game over. And that was a good game. This guy was level 10, so, and it must be a pretty good deck if I beat a level 10 with the Royal Giant and a miner. So other than that, guys, I just wanted to show you this quick deck. It looks pretty fun, and it's completely free to play. As you guys can see, there are no epic cards in this deck, and I just noticed that. It's only commons and rares. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Infinity Gaming out.